Welcome, everybody, to Mystery Witch School, another live stream here on YouTube. I really love the YouTube platform. So welcome to those of you watching the replay too, which is probably most of you at the moment. And if you are coming on and watching the live, certainly say hello. And if you're watching the replay, certainly say hello in the comments field if you're watching the replay. While I'm waiting for people to come on, I will just let you know a little bit about Mystery Witch School. I don't know if I've talked too much about it actually on this channel, but the whole point of Mystery Witch School is to bring a community of witches and Wiccans together and to have a place where people can learn more about Wicca and witchcraft from, I guess, a different perspective. I try to bring more of a unique perspective to this, which is, of course, my journey and all of the different spiritual paths that I've been on through this journey. It's an opportunity for you to get started practicing the craft, which I know is probably one of the hardest things out there in the world to do. When there's so much information out there, it's hard to know where to start, what to do, and how to bring witchcraft and Wicca into your life in a way that actually does give your life more meaning, more joy, and connectedness, a sense of connecting to yourself, connecting to others, connecting to nature, and that sense of connection that so many of us are looking for and missing in this world of disconnection. And, you know, without having to try and do it all on your own, without any guidance, and make it easier. So hello, Dawn. Hello, Weezer. So this is what Witch School is all about. I offer courses in Wicca and witchcraft. I offer also courses in shadow work, and shadow work's what we're going to be talking about today because it's one of my favorite subjects. It is definitely a part of Wiccan training, especially these days, often associated with second degree. But really, it starts at the get-go. As soon as you start walking this path, you really do start learning more about yourself and working with these parts of yourself that maybe you don't like, maybe you believe you shouldn't have, or believe you don't even have. And at the same time, other parts of yourself that, or beliefs that you have that are blocking you from really being able to step out there and do what it is that you want to do. And that may even include being able to feel confident practicing the craft even. So we'll talk about that today. Hi, Bob. Blessed be. Hi, Silver Crow. Perfect timing, starting shadow work in February. Awesome. This is certainly the time to start shadow work with all of the shifts that are going on. Hello, Sandy from Devon. This is certainly a time to be doing a shadow work with all the shifts that are going on astrologically. Uranus is going direct soon, and we've got Mars has just gone direct recently, and lots of energy coming up, a lot of things about that have been going on in the world coming to light, people really looking for an alternative to the way we've been living our lives for such a long, long time, turning towards Thomas is Weezer. Hi, Thomas. I must write that down, Thomas. I will write that down because I often see you in the comments. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be talking about shadow work, one of my favorite topics. So if you want to let me know in the comments field, what do you think shadow work actually is yourself? And if you're watching the replay, write it in the comments field. What do you think? What do you think that shadow work is? Because I know there's some people think that shadow work is more kind of working with sort of dark magic or working with that kind of magical intent, when really shadow work is more akin to sort of the more modern Jungian approach to the shadow, which is that part of ourselves we can't see, the part of ourselves we don't want to see, and the parts of ourselves we even deny that we have because it's not socially acceptable to have those parts. And sometimes those parts of ourselves aren't really very nice parts anyway. And even if they were socially acceptable, there's still things that we personally believe is not ethical by our own values and our own standards, yet we still may have that within us. So this is why shadow work is so important, because we don't want to be running around feeling shame and guilt about very natural instincts or aspects of ourselves that, whilst it's best not to express them, we still have to acknowledge that everybody has them. And this is a way that we can connect to our intuition too, once we've been through this process. Hello, Edward. Joined a Marban ceremony in 2022. Very profound. A Reiki practitioner. Awesome. Blessed be Kelly. So first I'll talk about shadow work, and then we'll talk about intuition, and then we'll talk about how shadow work can help you develop your intuition and connect more to your intuition. So shadow work, as I've just been talking about, is that part of ourselves we don't want to see or we can't see. Other people usually can see it, and we can usually see it in other people, but often we can't see it in ourselves. Or if you are self-aware, which most people on the magical path, the spiritual path, generally are trying to be and are becoming more and more self-aware, we might know that we have these parts, but we're ashamed of them, or we feel guilty about them because they're not nice parts. And the shadow itself has a function. It has a function, and that function is to keep us alive, basically, originally. And if it was programmed properly, it would do that well. But because we aren't programmed very well from the get-go through our family, our schooling system, our cultural system, the whole religious system, often causes us to suppress parts of ourselves and just deny parts of ourselves, and we don't know how to handle it. We don't know what to do with it. Mr. Perfect is perfect. Hello, Edward. Very difficult process. Yes, it is. It is a very difficult process. So when we're doing shadow work, we're going to discover things about ourselves that we don't like about ourselves. And we're going to also discover things about ourselves that aren't true, and beliefs that we have about ourselves that aren't true. Things such as, I'm not good enough. I'm not enough. I'm not valuable enough. I'm not lovable. All of these sorts of beliefs that we have that we picked up as children that have been guiding us and often stopping us from being able to really express our true selves, and may even be causing us to act out in ways that we don't feel comfortable about, triggering maybe negative shadow qualities that are harmful to ourselves and even others. And all because of these beliefs that we have about ourselves and the world around us. So shadow work is about diving into our psyche and discovering who we are and what we're all about and how we got to where we are and what's true and what's not true, and then to reprogram what we want to change, because we can change our psyche. It is neuroplasticity is a true thing, and that's a wonderful thing, because our ability to change the way we think can completely transform our thinking, and hence then our feeling as a reaction to our thinking makes us incredibly powerful beings. So we don't have to stay stuck in beliefs that are unhealthy, making us unhappy. And the shadow work is about that. But there's different tools and techniques that you can use to help that process, because it's not an easy process to do, especially on your own. So, wish on a foxtail. Hi, everybody. My name is Lana. Hi, Lana. Just reporting for duty. How can you connect to intuition when you have so much self-doubt? That's what we'll talk about. The self-doubt and abandonment. That's all to do with beliefs there that can be blocking the intuition for sure. Being put in remote control, absolutely. We are automatons, really. And we're programmed to be like that. Particularly, I'd have to say our schooling system really does indoctrinate us to be basically to conform to a system that isn't particularly conducive to our magical selves and or to our spiritual selves. And religion in the past has been like that as well, and religion to some extent still is. So, live chat. Guard your private. Oh, it's just Tarot Destroyer. Guard your privacy. Okay. So, Okay, so I have no idea what's going on here. I have no idea what YouTube's doing. If you're having troubles getting through on the chat, I have no idea what YouTube's just doing there. Okay. More tarot learning. Yes, we will be doing more tarot, definitely. Okay, so that's what shadow work is. With your intuition is your inner guidance. It's that part of you that knows, and it's always right. Always, 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 always right. It's never wrong. It's your connection to your higher self, your higher knowing. And we have been programmed to not listen to it. We've been programmed to really think on a rational basis through our schooling system and through our culture, to be totally rational about everything. And we end up doubting ourselves and doubting our intuition because we don't, A, we doubt ourselves full stop, and B, we doubt our intuition because we doubt ourselves. And often the intuition will let us know that something is or isn't, but we'll be able to rationalize our way out of it. And that is where the shadow work can help with that, because it'll teach you more about yourself and how you do this. Your intuition may come to you in various different ways. Everybody receives differently. Some people receive more like a cognitive hunch or thought. So it comes more in a thinking sense, so it's more cognizant. Other people may see things like visions. Some people hear things, auditory. Other people sense things in their body. So you have a creeping feeling or something, or it gives you goosebumps or something like that. There's all different ways that you can sense things. Some people are very olfactory in the way that they sense things too. So it could be through sense of smell. And often when you're doing this sort of work, the magical work, your intuition will naturally start to get better itself. And that's when you've got to learn how to listen to it. Dreams are a very big part. Yes, dreams are important to write down and to follow, because a lot of the intuition will come through your dreams for sure. Following your gut. Yes, yes, your gut. Your gut knows and your heart knows. Clear thought. Yes. And dreams coming true. Yes, that's different ways that your intuition can certainly come through. And journaling is a good way to help with the techniques of shadow work and improving your intuition. So with shadow work, what it does is it helps clear away the beliefs about yourself that are causing you to doubt yourself, that are causing you to not listen to your intuition. So that's one of the ways that it helps improve your intuition, is just simply that it clears away the blockages for you being able to understand or even hear or sense your intuition. And when you work with shadow work via the chakras, like I like to work with it, you start to work immediately with your energy system. So you're fine tuning your connection to your body and to how you receive. And you're also connecting to the different energy of the chakras as well. Our intuition is generally associated with the third eye area, but unfortunately, the third eye chakra is informed by the lower chakras. So if your lower chakras there's blockages there and beliefs in those chakras that are causing issues in those chakras, then your third eye center is not going to be able to really receive properly, because it's going to be clouded by what you're feeling and experiencing lower down. That's why when we work with the chakras, in the Eastern traditions anyway, we work from the bottom up rather than from the top down. So when you're clearing away beliefs, say in your root chakra, about safety and security and those things, you're starting to become more grounded and more safe in your being here on planet Earth, more safe in being allowed to be here, being allowed to be you here. And that can help you then not only tune in more with your third eye, it can also help you trust yourself that little bit more, and know that as each layer of your beliefs gets peeled like an onion, that you start to reveal to yourself more and more about what you truly are and who you truly are. And this will give you the the way of the confidence to be able to listen to your intuition in the first place. The clearing away of beliefs removes the buffers to reality, that it moves the buffers to your perception. So you start to perceive things differently. The third eye will open up because you're getting clearer in your vision, because you're seeing things more correctly from becoming a being who is more connected to your true spiritual self. And when you're doing your shadow work and you learn to love yourself, warts and all, then you start to find your connection to your intuition is naturally much more, there's more flow, and you're feeling it now. You're learning how you feel it, and you're listening to it because you have more confidence to listen to it. Your perception changes when you do work on yourself. You see things differently, literally. And that is going to change how you relate to your own intuitive guidance and your own way of receiving that intuitive guidance. There's no way of stopping that from happening. So that's probably the most important thing about shadow work. It's clearing away the dirt that's covering your third eye, or your window to the truth and your window to reality. The shadow work is like a cleaner that's cleaning the dirt away from that window so that you can see through it more clearly. So I'll just go through some comments. Kelly B says, reading tarot for years and finally broke down, bought a Learner's Tarot deck. It has the meanings on each card. It shows the chakra and the planets and astrology signs. Yes, I've got, I put on the backs of one of my tarot decks the astrology connections to the tarot. Scorpio sun rising, all the amazing things I read about being a Scorpio. Then Scorpio is kind of like that very deep shadow work position in astrology. It's the 8th house, which is the house of shadow work, one of the houses of shadow work. Okay. So with your shadow work and you're clearing away, getting that confidence in yourself, learning that you are acceptable, that you are lovable after all, that you are enough, that you have a right to be here. Working through even those shadow beliefs about even being a witch in the first place. I know a lot of us struggle with that one. And even if on the surface we may think that we're okay about the whole witch thing, underneath, with all of the programming that we've received from our upbringing, with witchcraft being vilified and shown in a very negative way, there often is subconscious blocks to being fully able to accept and embrace our witchness and really truly step into who we feel we are. So many witches say that when you, like, they come to the path as I did, it's a feeling of coming home, and that's your intuition letting you know that you are home, that this is your true being, this is your home state. We are magical beings. We're here to create and experience, and that's what magic is all about, and that's what the craft is all about. It's about creating, being here and creating. And from a Wiccan perspective, it's about creating joy and happiness and meaning in the world. So the shadow work just helps you step into that witch part of you without being concerned about what other people say or what other people think. Even if they're having a hard time with it, it's like, well, you know, that's their problem and they've got to work through it. It's being able to really accept who you are, and that's not an easy thing. And when you accept yourself and you're tuning in more to acceptance of yourself, your intuition is going to be stronger and you're going to listen to it more. You're going to have the confidence to listen to it. Even if you're starting out and you get it wrong, it's all a learning curve. And when you start to be confident in yourself and go, okay, I feel this is my intuition, and then you can start to see your rational mind, the ego, trying to justify things that your intuition is telling you not to justify, or your rationality is saying, oh, you know, that's just my imagination, when really it's your intuition screaming at you. When you've got that confidence and you've got a different perception because you've done the shadow work, you're going to trust your intuition more instinctively, and you're going to be able to discern the difference between what is fear and what is intuition, because you're going to know the difference of how it feels in your body, and you're going to know how to tune into yourself, to listen to yourself when you ask yourself the question of whether it is the right decision or the wrong decision when it comes to your intuition. You learn to tune into these, particularly if you're working through the chakra system. You will learn to tune into your heart chakra and your gut, and to feel into what your heart is saying about a situation, and what your gut's feeling about a situation, and tune into that. Sometimes with the gut, because it's our power center, we can often feel the fear in the gut. And sometimes you've got to tune into your heart to discover whether the gut is just acting out of fear, or whether the gut is actually saying, yes, this is how it is. So the heart is very helpful when you're tuning into your intuition as well, or especially if it's to do with decisions that you need to make that are about your path and about your relationship to yourself and to the work that you do and to people in your life. But your gut will usually tell you that something's going on too. Okay. Calling myself a witch has always been hard for me. Yes, I've definitely struggled with that too. Usually struggle getting out. Yeah. Yes. So people trying to convert. Yeah, literally had a customer trying to convert you. Did you? Yeah, you get that with people trying to convert, or some people being a bit sort of who don't know anything about it, kind of being a bit wary sometimes. And I think it's when you've done a lot of shadow work and you can kind of find that shadow work, it improves your sense of humor. It really does. Your sense of humor will just expand beyond your belief when you do shadow work, because you will see life in a much less serious way, and you'll see the humor and the absurdity a lot in life. And so you'll laugh a lot more when you do shadow work. So that's one of the ways that shadow work brings in more joy, because you can see things, the absurdity, because you're perceiving things more correctly. And when you learn about yourself, you're also learning about everyone else too, because we're not that different. All human beings share the same shadow qualities. It's just some of us express them differently, or more of some than the others. But we all have the deep down nature to be everything that's in the shadow and everything that's in the light as well. So that's something to remember if you are in the shadow and you're seeing something in yourself that you don't like, and you're working on trying to find the gift in to make it something that's understandable and to turn it into something positive. That we all have it. We all have that within us. It doesn't matter who we are, where we were born, what era we were born. Every human being shares the same shadow and the same light. Okay. Repeated numbers. If you're seeing repeated numbers, it often has to do with what you associate with a number. So if your intuition is drawing your reticular activating system to a particular thing over and over again, like say it's 111 or 333 or something, yes, you can always look it up. You can always Google it to see what other people are saying, what the meaning is. But really, to understand your intuition, you've got to really tune into how you associate to the number 3 or the number 1. What does that mean for you? Because your subconscious is acting on your information. So it's acting on what is going to mean something to you. It's like a dream. A dream is always going to be informing you of something that's going on with you. And so it's going to use symbolism that your subconscious mind already knows and already understands. And even if consciously, because the conscious mind can only handle a small amount of information, the subconscious mind can handle millions and millions of bits per second of information. So your subconscious mind has a connection to those numbers. in some way, shape, or form. It's either read something in the past, it's seen something, it's taken that to be a particular meaning. And so through journaling, through meditation, or just going back through your thinking of experiences, you might feel what's that connection to that number. So if the number's coming up multiple times, like you get a 333 or a 111 or even a quadruple one, then or an 1111, what do you associate with those particular numbers when they're singular? Because the multiple of that number is multiplying the energy of that for you. So using sigils and as a way of coping with anxiety, and then connecting, the witch within was working there, definitely. Sophia. Let's see what else is happening in the comments field. Deja vu, yes, deja vu's. There's interesting things about deja vu. I mean, I know the science side of it suggests that it's got something to do with time tagging. I wonder sometimes if it's like the glitch in the Matrix kind of thing, that you're kind of seeing a glitch in the simulation, because essentially we when you look at from a quantum physics perspective and from a magical perspective, if we're in this 3D realities and there's other dimensions, the deja vu a glitch? And because all of the realities are all happening in the same time, because linear time doesn't exist, then is it a glitch between time, like actual quantum time? There's all these different ways that you can look at deja vu from more of a magical perspective, and I often wonder if it is like a glitch in the Matrix of this astral simulation that we live in. Seeing inside the head, yes. One thing that shadow work has done for me is reveal how judgmental I can be, and I'm so much more aware of that now. Thank you, the Blue Man. Yeah, judgment. Well, we're programmed to be judgmental. I just look at reality television and all of those talent shows and everything, and how judgmental the judges are, and we are judgmental, and the way to work with judgment is, when you're doing your shadow work, is to work on how you judge yourself. Because when you stop judging yourself, you stop judging everyone else. It's actually like a projection of what we do to ourselves. So when we're treating people in a particular way, like judging people or being critical, it's actually a mirror to how we're treating ourselves. So working out where you're judgy about yourself, and working on healing that, changing the programs around that, you'll find that you'll naturally start to judge people less. It won't mean that you're less discerning. You'll still be able to discern whether people are good or bad around you, in the sense of, are they, harmful, or are they this or that? But it's more of a discernment rather than a judgment. Okay. Yes, we are gods. We are. We're only using 10% of our brains. We're just not using our. We're not using enough of our ability. We're very caught in this conscious, rational part of our brain, and we're not really working with the other areas of the subconscious and tuning into the subconscious, especially when it comes to creating our lives. We probably don't do magic near enough as much as we could, and that doesn't mean actually doing literal spells. It means just being in a state of assumption, assuming that we have what it is that we want, or we are who we want to be, and living from that. That's a magical thing. Okay, shadow work workshops in your witch school. Yes. So the shadow work, I've got a course in shadow work. It's called Wheels of Empowerment. So it is to do with connecting with all of those false beliefs that you have about yourself at each chakra level, working up the chakras. I use emotional freedom technique or tapping to help shift those beliefs and change them into their opposite, and also to help you find those beliefs in the first place. There's different processes that you use your imagination with, and imagine yourself in various different scenes doing different things and seeing how you feel in those scenes to get the information, to get the intel, to let you know what you need to work on. And in that particular course, I also like to work with ritual and a little bit of magic in there to help make the process more connected to our magical path. And I feel that magic has its own way of helping heal as well, and working with magic in that healing and ritual in that very healing way, as well as using meditations and chanting as well in that program. So that's the pure shadow work program, the Wheels of Empowerment. The Mystery Witch School 101 course, which is the course in Wicca and Witchcraft, has got a bit of shadow work in it, but it's not as intense as the Wheels of Empowerment. And the Wheels of Empowerment course, it's 4 months in duration. You can, of course, take longer than that. Most people do. But it's just designed so that you've got it there basically in that 4-month time frame, and then you can take as long as you want to actually complete the course, and even go back and redo it, because it's one of those things. And I know a lot of people in the witch school, the Mystery Witch School 101 Academy, often go back and repeat the whole 12-month course again a number of times, because it's really about finding the different layers, and each time you go back to something, you find an extra layer. And shadow work's like that too. So you go through the chakras, and then you come back, you go through them again, and then you come back. It's a lifetime of work. But once you've got your tools and your like your modalities like meditation and EFT and ritual to help you with that, then it becomes much easier for you to do it on your own. I'll put the link to the Wheels of Empowerment course is in the description field. It'll be under the video. And also the links to all my courses are under the video here. So if you want to go and check them out on my website, I'll certainly do that. And if you've got any questions or anything, you can also contact me too and just ask me any questions about the courses too. Okay, loving Wheels of Empowerment, Dawn, awesome. Yeah, awesome. Intuition used to be really strong when I was a teenager, then it went away. I've gotten it back over the past years. Would shadow work help get it back with full force? Yes, if shadow work, if what's blocking it is you and your beliefs about yourself, particularly because when we're younger, we are more intuitive, generally speaking. If we think back to our childhood, before that intuition was kind of taken away from us through education, the shadow work can help clear away those beliefs and those blocks, for sure. New moon, yes, new moon, blessed be Hecate. Can you do shadow work and mix a dream spell as well, and meditating with your spirit guides? Yes, absolutely. Yes, you can do all of that. Dreams are wonderful to work with shadow work, because your dreams will help you with your shadow work automatically. So not only will dreams help with your intuition, getting to become more aware of them, which can be a practice if you're not used to recalling your dreams. And sometimes you'll find that when you're going through certain periods in your life, sometimes your dreams are going to be more vivid, and that's your subconscious mind basically just screaming at you, saying, listen to me, look at me, look at me. I've got a message here for you. Your subconscious mind, your intuition, will give you warnings too about anything that's coming up. I've had dreams where, if I've had some sort of body therapy or something, and there's been an emotional release from that, I've had dreams turn up 2 days before the actual emotional release to warn me of the fact I'm going to have an emotional release. And they're usually dreams that are about water. So where you maybe there's like lots of water would be flooding around me on the beach, and I'd be afraid of being inundated with all this water, or I'd be under the water and afraid of being trapped under the water. And the different way that water will appear to you in the dream can tell you about how clear you may be about things or how murky things may be with your clarity. And this can, because water connects to intuition, sometimes your dreams can tell you maybe where you're not using your intuition because things are a bit murky and you're not able to see clearly. And so it can be giving you a warning, well, not so much a warning, but just an indication that, hey, you're not seeing things clearly right now. And, maybe you need to work on clearing things before you make any decisions. So using your intuition with your dreams and dream interpretation is a really important part of the path. And I'd love to also at some stage do a more thorough course on dreams as well. Lots of ideas, but it's, one thing at a time. So the shadow work course I completed last year. So the Wheels of Empowerment was completed last year. This year it's going to be the tarot course coming along. Dreaming of tornadoes destroying your house. Okay, so that's a lot of turbulence, and your home is your psyche. Your home is you. It's your psyche. It's the things that are important to you. It's your consciousness. So if things are destroying your home, what do you feel is actually around you? What turbulence is going on that you feel is destroying your mental stability? That would be a quick interpretation of that. Thought being a witch, you'd be able to see through people's evil intentions, but I get manipulated so easy. And you will be able to see through people's evil intentions once you get to know yourself more and accepting yourself more and understanding what is it about yourself that tends to let people manipulate you so easily. And it may be just beliefs that you have about yourself. It may simply be that you're a very trusting person too. And you may find that there's things in your subconscious mind that can help protect you with that. There's lots of ways that you can learn about yourself through shadow work. So that's why it's really important work to do. I've been having tons of water dreams, driving into water and floods. Okay, so emotional stuff. Driving is often associated with your drive, so your motivation and your drive. So if you're driving into water, so driving into maybe something that's very emotionally flooding you, that could be a way of looking at that. Anxiety dreams about home. So that could be about your sense of self. And so if you, in the dream, if you run out the tornado in the car, awesome. That's a really good dream. That's a good progress dream, that one. Dreams about my brother recently passed, that's natural to do. And it's also can be a connection to people who've passed away as well. They can come in the dreams. Yeah, it's a way to communicate with people who are in another, I guess you could say it's another dimension of reality, because everything there's nowhere to go. It's just that we're not all sort of in the same dense physical reality at the same time. There's many of us, including our guides, that are in other dimensions of this existence. Okay, so understanding a way of receiving. Is it through thoughts? Is it through visions? Is it through hearing? Is it through your dreams? Sometimes you might be the sort of person that's really good at visualizing, having visions when you're in the state between sleep and wakefulness. So either the hypnopompic state or the hypnagogic state. I'm really only a visionary during those times. I have had visions a couple of times when I have been totally awake, but when it comes for me with visions, it is when I'm in that sleep-wake stage. Otherwise, I find my intuition speaks to me through cognition through thoughts and sometimes physical sensations as well. So everybody's different. That's basically it. Shadow work will clear away what's stopping you from being confident about yourself. It will clear away a lot of crap from your lower chakras so that your third eye chakra can see more clearly and you can perceive things more clearly. And not only that, once the lower chakras are more cleared up and your intuition or your third eye is opening up to more clarity, you're going to perceive things so much differently. The world totally changes. You realize that you're not in the world that you thought you're in. It's like waking up out of a dream, and you realize that we are incredibly suggestible beings, and that has its pros and cons. The con is that we've been conned a lot in our upbringing. The pros are that because of that suggestibility, we can resuggest to ourselves and reprogram ourselves to see things more in more clarity and more in reality. And that's what shadow work does. Okay. So yes, I was just saying, Chan, that I do have a shadow work course, The Wheels of Empowerment. Yes, thanks. Thank you, Mr. Perfect is perfect. Perfect, Mr. Perfect. Okay, so that is it. So if you want to investigate the Wheels of Empowerment course, it is in the description field underneath this video. There is also a free masterclass that is called How to Heal Your Shadow Through Balancing Your Energy Centers. That's like an introduction to the whole process of working with shadow work and working with the chakras. And then at the end of that, there's detail about the Wheels of Empowerment course. So that's something, if you haven't already signed up to that you might want to also, that will be good to look at if you're just wanting to get more of an understanding of how I work with shadow work and how the course is structured. So that is called How to Heal Your Shadow Through Balancing Your Energy Centers. So yeah, check that out for the shadow work, working with the chakras. Okay, so thank you all for coming along this week. I'm really enjoying working on YouTube now for the live, so much better than Facebook. I was on Facebook for years and nothing really, Facebook's just so dead. So I'm loving YouTube. YouTube's my favorite platform, I think, for pretty much everything these days. So thank you, everybody. And I will see you next week for another live stream. And make sure the notification bell is on so that you get notified of when the lives are happening, and also when my other video comes out as well, which is on a Thursday Australian time, and in the US and Canada, it's probably a Wednesday afternoon, evening. Okay, so blessed be everyone, and yes, have an awesome week.